All right. All right, you ready to start?
Yeah.
All right.
So go ahead, record it. I'm
John.
going to share my screen. And I'm going to move over to right here. Let me know if I can see my screen. And we're doing this on a wing and prayer. I'm hoping the sound's going to come through my computer.
Oh, you hit the sound button.
Oh, I'm not muted, so they should be able to hear it through my speakers.
Try it. I don't think so.
Can you hear that?
Nope.
Oh, bummer.
When you sign on, you should be able to click a button on the bottom that says share sound.
Well, let me see. How about now?
Nope.
Let me try something. Patrick, I'm going to send this over to you through the chat.
I don't think it's going to work for me either. Who knows how to set the settings for share sound? I've never shared sound on it. Because I never shared anything.
I found it. I found it.
Where's it at?
See the three dots at the far right side? It says more.
Yeah.
Right there is where you got share sound. Let's test it out.
This is Chris from the Rankin Store.
I hear it.
Just going to go through just generally.
Okay. Now that we can do that, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Well, I don't see you can share sound with that.
Yeah, it's towards the bottom.
Take you through the new features of this major update to Google Sites.
Can everybody hear
2.
okay?
So
yeah, we can hear it.
Instead of going on a minor build update, we've gone to 2.200. So when we come into, all the changes are within the Google site form here. So let's just run through what those changes are. One of the things that users have requested time and again is to be able to edit an existing site.
You guys double click on it, it'll make your screen bigger.
Add pages to a site that perhaps have been previously published, or even with a different, may have been published manually. So if you have your brand account that has edit access to that, and you come here in the actual URL, you can right click in here and you can import, so you can get your title and slug from an existing URL. You can import those details into the software by popping a URL in here and clicking go. And that will just bring in the title and slug, and it will also then ask you when you publish, when you use the upload to URL, it's going to ask you, do you want to upload as a new site? So ignore the URL that you've got here, or do you want to upload to that URL? And so that's good. That's a new feature that you can all use. One of the features here that's been added on a right click is, instead of having a header in Google Sites, so let's just bring up Google Sites and show you what we're talking about. So we'll come into a new Google site, we'll make a brand new site, And in here in header type, you can have title only. So you see it removes the image and just sticks with a page title. So basically just giving you more space here in this part of the web page. So the software can apply that to a page or to all pages. So if you click on title only on a selected page, you check that box, then that page there, when it publishes, its page title would be, as we saw here, just a title, no header image. So that is one of the other features. Now if we wanted to apply that setting to all of the pages, we just come over, right click, and we go title only all, and then that would apply to all of those pages. So that is another major update. Over here in site settings, again, another feature request is to be able to, instead of just using the top navigation, to use side navigation. So let's come back to Google Sites. Let's add a page. We'll just go done. So here we've got our menu. Google is putting it at the top, but we can make that menu appear also at the side. So we've got that option here, and then that will just bring the menu down on here on this side. So when this site is published, let's just do that. You can see what the effect is. And we'll publish that, and we'll go to see the published page, and let's just drag this into our visible area here. And so now we've got our menu here on the side, and again, that's a feature that's been requested, so we have built that in to Google Sites Factory 2.2. So let's come back to our software again and continue going through the changes that we've got in the software. So one of the other things that had been requested was to improve the import for DMT. So this is a Digital Marketer's Toolbox. So if you have that software, you can export an XML file and you can import that here into Google Sites Factory. So we've improved that. That is improved 100%, I would say. And we've also done the same with import from AI Masher. We have improved the way that it treats the files that come out of AI Masher, so the content would more closely match what you're expecting to see. Next feature is available again to all users, and so when we, in Google Sites, when we add here a text box, let's say we want to put here this text, it doesn't stand out, it's just plain text, but we can set it to be a heading text, and now it inherits, so it's not the title, this is the sort of title style, so we don't have another title here, we now need this to be a heading, and we've got that option in our software now to be able to say, set it here, news articles, click on heading style, and that will set this piece of content, once it's added into the website, into the page, it will treat it and change the styling through the upload process and make it into a heading style. So those are the significant changes that we've added. We've also done some other things in the software to improve things like where content was coming in from the main articles. Sometimes it was leaving a line space at the end of the article, and that was just the way Google Sites works with the way we add the content. We're now removing that. So as that content comes in from your main article, the additional line return is now removed, so we get the proper spacing for our content. So as you can tell, there's a lot of changes in this build, and just to take you through the number of changes that we've got, it's taken about 6-7 minutes here in this video. Individually, I'll break this down and go through each feature because there's obviously a lot of detail in each feature and we want to see those in action. So we'll break that down and put that in some other videos. But, start to use these features. If you need more familiarization, we'll have the videos there to support you so that you can see how the features work in detail.
All right, folks. Everybody grasp what Chris is added to it. Daniel, let me address that. I'll explain how that works. And let's cover that first real quick. We'll cover the software first. So if I were taking, let me go find a G site. If I were wanting to add, say, content to the site you're about to see through the software itself, what I would do, what you will have to do, is you're going to have to take the published URL, click it. As soon as it loads, it's a little slow because we're in a Zoom call. So it's a little slower than the normal process. So if I copy the link and I bring up the software, can everybody see my screen? Still see my screen? Okay. Okay. So it'll take the software a second to load up. We'll go into Google Sites. Now, currently the software is, as well as many of our softwares, are having trouble with the accounts. The accounts are being blocked. Oh, speaking of the devil. So I may not be able to show you this, or I'm going to try. Let me try it. I'm probably going to get a block. Yeah, I did. Just bringing up the software brought me up a block. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to paste in the URL into the software that we're going to upload to. So if we have an existing G site, in this case, we were talking about this particular one right here, we can actually, once we get the account app past that, which I think we'll have done today, we can actually add new content and get to choose the page we're adding the content to an existing G site. Doesn't matter if we manually made it or the software made it. Okay, let me repeat that. It does not make a difference whether we manually made the site or the software made the site. Yeah, that's great news. Okay, so let's for a second look at the new features that we've added to this G site. The most powerful feature that's been added is the ability to add new content on the fly to an existing G site. Okay? Think about that. Okay? Now I'm going to show you guys something here in a minute.
So Gary, I have a question.
Sure.
So if you've got your site up and you've got a spot where say you have a blog page, right?
Okay.
So basically what you're saying is that you could go in every day, go to ChatGPT, write a new content about whatever it is that you were talking about on that page and just add a new blog post every day.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Now,
That's pretty cool. What do you guys think?
It's pretty cool. What I'd love to see maybe is a scheduler where we could do maybe a week at a time and just schedule it.
No, one
But
thing at a time, but
one
the
thing
fact
at
that
a
we can
time.
do it,
We
right?
might be able to get there. It's just a thought process at the moment. Okay. So now, how many of you on the call have
Wow,
G
cool.
Site? How many have actually have the software, the G Site software? Give me a 1. How many don't have it? Give me a 2. Okay,
Okay, one person. David.
one person. So what I'm gonna show you here over the next few minutes, I want to go over, and let me go find it too. I pulled it up. Here it is. I created, it's probably been, Patrick, would you say it's been a year and a half since we built the PBN?
Yeah, well, let's just say a little over a year. Yeah.
It's over a year. Okay. So the very sites that we took pictures of over a year ago, I checked yesterday and the day before. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, pull the slide up with the spreadsheet. You have the date right there, Gary.
Which one?
That one right there. Click on it.
Okay.
Isn't the
Well,
date? See the
it
date
gives
right
us-
there?
Yeah, it gives us a date. So it was actually the beginning of
ago.
all.
Yeah.
It's been a year, exactly. I was thinking it was a little longer, but so yesterday and the day before, I went ahead and checked. So I want to pop these up. Okay. I was thinking it was a year and a half, but evidently it's only a year.
Better
So-
change it. Somebody's gonna call you out on it and call you a liar.
Yeah, I'll change it, but I can make new images quick enough. So if you look, there's one sponsored ad and there's one of the G sites right there. Okay. You think you can get a site to hold any stronger than that for an entire year?
And you did
And-
absolutely nothing to it?
I've done nothing to it since the day it was built. Other than the system I already use, not even the new stuff I started doing. I haven't done any of that. So the only thing was done is they're linked to the other G sites in the PBN. Okay? And they're linked, basically, in a sense, they're linked. These were fast, Daniel. I'll cover that in a minute. These were linked through my drive and probably the keyword files on some of them may have a keyword file linked. So let's drop that one. Let's go to the next one. Now on this particular one, this is a major market. This Los Angeles, East Los Angeles. Okay. And I want you to look, we got two, we took two at the top and there's no sponsored above us. You see this? Nothing
you're still
sponsored
there.
above. It's still there. This was, you can see I took this yesterday, 8/8. Today's the 9th. I took this on
Mhm.
8/8.
Mhm.
So two out of major market. Would we all agree Los Angeles is a major market? What is the
Dinky little
population?
rural town.
Yeah, so we're not all looking at small, medium towns here. So let's go back to,
So I think the question might be at this point is, does everybody understand? I think this is true, Gary, and you can back me up. But does everybody have the PBN feature in their G sites? Did you hear me, Gary?
yes, I
I
can
said-
hear you.
I said, does everybody have the PBN feature live in their G
I
site?
don't believe that to be true. We haven't really promoted it for sale yet. We need to very soon. Here's another one with two in the top, at the very top. So what I want to show you is we have the ability to dominate the very top if you do it correctly. All right. Now, if we were doing this with, say, WordPress or one of the other platforms, do you think you could hold it for a year without doing anything?
It's hard to say. You should,
What-
but
What normally happens
no way.
within that year? Changes are made. Okay. I was looking at a conversation this morning into a room that's only dedicated SEO techniques. And one of the guys up there switched platforms because he was tired of the platform he was using. As soon as he switched the platforms he was using, every site he had tanked and dropped off the map. Every single one. Anybody have an idea why they all tanked and dropped? This platform is G-Site, yes, that I use.
Footprint, David said.
No, it's in my opinion, that's not the case. Because they were already highly ranked prior to changing the platform that they made the pages with.
Changing DA.
That's close. Mike, you're really close. No, the authority and stuff was already built in. I'm going to tell you that the feature that changed was age of site.
Age of site. Okay.
The minute they changed from one of the page building platforms they used and redid their pages using another page builder, it made a change in the site and they lost their age of site feature they had, whatever that was. Now, this is speculation on my part, but the only thing that's changed, the content remains the same, right? The embeds that they already had used were the same. The URL is still the same. What changed? Something cracked the code, and I believe that to be they lost their age of site when they changed the pages. That page became newly published as the day they did it. That would be my best guess. Okay? With a G site, you have certain things built in. I could take any site, change all the content in the site, and I still inherit all the features I already had. Right? Even if I did everything except delete the site, it's still the same site. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So some of the things that we're adding here recently over the last month, if you've been to the trainings that we have, we've added some features to strengthen what we already do. What we do is powerful, and it has worked for the last year without budging. Nothing seems to be dropping that I can find. So it tells me we're on the right path completely. But we've enhanced what we're doing. So what does that mean? That means if I'm already in number 1 and number 2 on a site, and XYZ company hires some SEO experts to push them above me, they're not likely to be able to budge me. Okay? Everybody understand what I mean by that? Give me a 1 if you're still with me. Okay, so let's take it a little farther. You can't get above number one, but you can sure anchor it so hard that they can't budge you. So today we're going to talk about a principle, and Patrick and I've had this discussion before. Google allows you basically 2 spots per account that you have that can be ranked. I don't care if it's YouTube or it's Google or what. You can only rank 2 videos on a given account. You can only rank 2 sites on a given account. So if I wanted to attack this particular niche in this site for this particular location, my local, what would I do? How would I go about the approach? Now, come on, guys. The keywords are not relevant because we've already found we can rank up to over 40 keywords. Create with different accounts. I gave you the formula, 2 per account, right? 2 per account. So if I'm going to attack a niche, I'm going to have the amount of accounts. If I have 6 or 7 on page 1 for XYZ number of keywords, and I'm ranking them, especially for a primary keyword, do you think that anybody's going to come try and attack me? You can't do it with one account, Daniel. You have to use multiple accounts. So it's coming from different places. I've done it in YouTube before they changed the rules with multiple accounts. Okay? Now, YouTube has changed those principles since then. And at the time, we still use multiple accounts. Well, when you say 2 spots per domain, that's kind of a strange way to approach it. Look at it differently than domains. Think of it as Google accounts. Okay? And be sure you cannot have those accounts tied to one main account. In other words, if those accounts are all tied together, then Google knows they're all owned by you, right?
It's a lunch.
You follow that?
We're still.
Okay. So you have to have separated accounts to accomplish what we're talking about here today.
But 2's good.
Hey, 2 is great. Do you think you have a client for that particular keyword and you're taking 2 of the top spots? Do you think you're going to have a dissatisfied client?
Only if they're greedy and want the top 10.
Don't talk to them about the top 10.
Mm-mm.
But do you think your client's ever going to drop you if you got 2 at the top? He'd be crazy. So,
Absolutely not. So, and I think the part of what you're saying here is that for the most part, on an SEO basis, if you guys are into SEO real heavy, how much, let me ask you this, how many Google changes has happened in the last year that you had to go and do something, fix something, helpful content, change content, do this, do that, your ranks jumped, you went down, over, sideways, up and down. So it's a constant, chasing, yeah. Mandeep says, yeah, can't count them, there's so many, right? And so the stability of the G sites has proven over the last year here where, we created it correctly, we did it correctly, we put it up, and not all of them are sticking, but a majority of them have, and we did absolutely nothing to them. Imagine had we actually been working to update them and do this and add new content and put a video on there and do this and do that and everything else, that one site might be ranking in 5, 10, 15, 20 different places.
Hey,
But-
Patrick, I got to mute for a second.
Yeah. Right. So, that's part of the process here of understanding if we do it correctly within the rules and they do stick, now we just have to have light maintenance programs. Does that make sense? 15 out of 20 spots a while back for what? Well, you know what, J Mike, that was back in the day when you could do that, right? You can't do that really anymore. I mean, we had 4 pages of videos that ranked on a keyword on 4 pages long, 40 of them, that were there, right? So that's not going to happen anymore, but there's no reason why you can't kind of sort of play with a different Gmail account and then kind of clone your G site, modifying the data, modifying this, and see if you could actually get that to stick the way that you're asking. It is possible, but I don't think I would spend a whole lot of time, trying to make it. But let's go backwards again. Within the G Site Factory, is everybody aware that you have the one-page G Site builder? Yes or no? 1 or 2?
It's a one click.
That's the one-click G Site. Well, I call it the one page or one click.
You
Right.
can make any number of pages with it.
Okay. So now that you have that, why in the world can't every single day you go make another page, another G site using the one click with a different keyword every day? Different topic, different keyword, different images. Boom. Different topic, different keyword, different images. Boom. Every day, every day, every day. And then when you do that, you can also then create your own multi-PBN by absolutely linking in the one pager to your previous G site. Any bells and whistles going on? Anybody doing that? Let me find out if there's anybody doing that. Anybody? Yes? No? Be honest. David is doing that. Teach us, David. What are you doing? All right. So, oh, you don't need to do it manually, David. Do it with our software, dude. No, Joanne, linking the G sites is not using the PBN. That's completely different feature that's grayed out for most people.
Let me show them what ties all these together to make a PBN.
But before you do that, just think about what I'm saying. You can sit there and make a brand new G site every single day by hitting a one click with a different topic, different this, different that. And, linking them all together, you create your own little mini network there, but it's so easy to do. And we've shared that before. It doesn't make sense. Like once you build your G site out, have your VA build 2 or 3 a day using different keywords and build new sites, do this, do that, linking back to the other one. Does that make sense to everybody? That's not using the PBN software. That's just using what you have at in your hands right now. Boom, make another one. Boom, make another one. Boom, make another. Takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes max. pop them out like rabbits. Just use different keywords,
Exactly.
different content, different city, different this, location page here, location page there, and then tie and link them all back to the main G site. Right?
Did everybody see the master URL sheet?
Yes, Dave, I know we yes, sir. Thank you. We have been talking about this for years.
This is the magic behind the PBN itself, guys, is tying all your sites together by embedding this particular style. I'm using a sheet. Originally, I used a doc, but the sheet is more convenient. So as we're doing this, all these sites are linked to each other, every single one of them. So you're actually using a backlink process from every site you build turns into a backlink to all the other sites. Okay?
Yes.
Everybody see how this looks?
Yeah, David. No, I know that was awesome compliment. Thank you. I appreciate it. But he's right. This is just like a repeating story, right? Every time, it's just sometimes if some of you guys are like me, as my wife says, I gotta tell you 20 times to do the same thing before you get it.
So anyway, that's
We
that's
should
how the
at some
mystery-
point go through the process of kind of manually doing this as well, because the PBN button is not going to be turned on for everybody
Well,
unless they pay for it, but
Yeah,
we could do it
yeah.
manually, right?
Yeah, we can do it manually. In fact, I've actually made some sites that are not in this yet, and Chile, New York is one of them
Okay.
that we just did. Where's it at? Where are you hiding? I lost
Oh,
it. Oh, there it is.
1770. Hey, guess what, Mandeep? All of those were made by hand. Most all of them were made by hand. That's how much testing and how much stuff that Gary did to put into this to learn what we're able to share with you today is by building 1,770 sites, mostly by hand. Might have been all by hand. I'm not sure, Gary. You'd
They
have to
were
share
all
with that.
by hand before we created the software.
Yeah.
To make a long story short, Patrick thought I was absolutely nuts doing this
I
because
still
I
do.
spent so much time doing it and testing it and building it that you never know when you go into testing. Every software we built, before we built the software, we tested the principles behind the software to make sure that it actually did the very things that we were trying to accomplish. So when we come out with a software, and you guys see the software, all that stuff was done manually prior to, so we can make sure things work and click and do what they're supposed to do.
Now, I think with some transparency here, though, Gary, aren't some of these tied to the Google News sites that we no longer can do?
Yes, that's true.
Okay, so there are
It's not
some
that
of
we
these,
can't.
not all of them, but some of them are tied to a Google News site.
Now, in disclosing that too, you still can do it. It's just such a long, tedious process to get it through their system anymore. Basically, it can take a couple of months to get something approved now.
It used to take a
back-
couple days.
It used to take 3 or 4 days, maybe even at the most, to get them through. But Google, now, in full disclosure, we've never lost one either.
No,
And a
exactly.
lot of people just got killed they took away the news site from them and banned them out of the system.
But
or at
ours are
least
still
some-
live. Yeah, ours are
Every
still live.
single one of ours is still alive.
Right.
So we're doing something right that makes us stand out from the way we're doing it. So I'm happy to
Yeah, Doug
report
says his
that.
too, yeah.
Good. Now, Doug, did you make yours out of G sites or other?
So how many of you guys have
Oh, Match, good.
oh yeah, Magis training? Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, good.
His stuck really well. So how many of you guys have other backlinking tools besides Backlink Factory? And if you do, which ones are you using? Okay. Well, you don't have to, Mandeep, but I'm just saying, if you are using like SEO, SEO Autopilot has one, Luke's Tools, we use Luke's Tools, Money Robot, PBNs from auction domains. Yeah, Joanne, the only problem is with that is that it's a lot of work to and buy the auction domains, pay for the auction domains, keep paying for the auction domains. And quite frankly, they are good, but it's a lot of effort and time. It's just easier to use G site links or backlinks from Google. Local surge from Daryl, absolutely, Daniel. Okay, so my point is that those are all great tools, right? And what we do is encourage everybody to use those and hit your Google properties with those. Does that make sense? I mean, some people will say, if you just use those to your money site, use those to your GMB, not necessarily a good idea. But it's okay so far what we have seen. I'm not going to say this is a last forever, but we don't have a problem running a Money Robot campaign to a link on our G site that links to our homepage, that links to our GPB, that links to our YouTube video, and so forth. Does that make sense to everybody? I wouldn't go nuts with it, but it gives you another layer of links to your backlinks. I personally just use backlinks to backlinks, go to backlinks, my own Google backlinks to a Google backlink to a Google backlink, because I practice what I preach and I don't use any of this other stuff. But if you have them, please, feel free to use them and test them in moderation, with your keywords to your G sites and to your G site properties, right? Because we know that, it's got 7 inches of steel. So a BB from a BB rifle is not going to penetrate it. Right. And as long as you can control those links and turn those links off if something happens, which you generally can't do them. That's why I personally don't like them. Right. Because I know if I screw up with the Google backlink, I can turn it off right away. Everything comes back to normal within a week, and then I can start over. But we do use Money Robot blasts to and Luke's Tools for backlinks to our G properties on some occasions. So full disclosure.
Hey guys, how many people have attended the last 3 trainings? Give me a 1 if you've been here the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, Craig's a slacker.
What's the price? The question is,
Scott.
we've actually shown several new techniques that have never been shown anywhere. How many of you have implemented at least the comment stacking at minimum? Who's started actually using those techniques? Scott, I knew you would do it.
I knew he would be doing it. Okay,
Okay.
Carolyn. All right, go girl.
There you go. Yes.
Cool. So you got a lot of people that are starting.
Okay. These techniques are doing something that hasn't been done, and we kind of touched on it last week. We're actually stacking or backlinking the very properties that you embed into your G sites.
Correct.
Okay. So I like that. That's a
The
great
Olympics
answer.
is over, buddy.
That's a great answer. So as you're stacking, realize traditionally what we do, we backlink the pages in our website. And I'm not telling you not to do that. What I'm telling you is you're adding pure gold when you have the ability to backlink individual embeds within the pages themselves. I'm not aware of anybody has done that prior
That we know.
to us starting down this path.
Some seedy guy with a cigar in his mouth in a dark room with smoke covered
Yeah.
room filled is doing it all day long and just doesn't tell anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
See you, Daniel.
Commenting in authority docs and master. We don't comment in the master URL other than I would do this. If you're going to comment in a master URL, the only thing I would use is a keyword file. Because I don't see the purpose. You could, but the keyword file, if you could tie your keywords to your URL. See, we're looking at master this is dental implant. So if I'm going to add a keyword file comment and insert, and I got them all at top because I was working on them yesterday. So
And while you're pulling that up, Gary, I would say try both ways and let us know which one works best.
yeah. So I was working on all the keyword files yesterday. So let me go over and go find one. They'll generally be all at the top. So come on, slow. So I'm gonna look for one that this one is specific to an area. And that one to an area. So I need one that's just kind of general. Now, I'm going to start suggesting that you do this. And since we're doing this, let's go ahead and do it right now. What is the site we're looking at? Give me a second to go look at it.
Probably monodentalimplantacademy.org.
That's what it is. So that's not really a local. I'm looking for a local here.
That is local. That's local to Spring
No,
Lake.
let's do Grand Rapids.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to take and copy the link. Okay. So we know it's Grand Rapids. So we'll go back to our doc. Right here. Got it. And I'm going to copy at least 50 of them because I can only do 50. I don't know how many it is, but I'm going to come over here to Translation Keyword Factory. We're going to delete our current combination.
Free, by the way.
We're going to close that. I've already got a list in here I could use, so I don't really have to paste anything yet. So. And
You
now I
want to put
can,
Grand Rapids and then the next one, Michigan? Or just Grand Rapids, comma, Michigan,
I can do it comma just as easy
yeah.
and do it one time. And actually, I need a space there. There we go. So we can create our combination. So now, as we're doing these, and I can copy the combination, right? Go back to my keyword file. Come all the way down to the bottom. And now I can start localizing.
Yeah, but they're not links.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet? Oh, okay. Insert link.
Insert link, go back to your master URL. Copy your link. Right? Go back to my keyword file. And now we've applied it. We've applied this keyword file and made it localized. Okay, I would take all the rest of the keywords, you can only do 50 at a time, and just build this out with all the local keywords for this area. Now, how do we use it from here? We grab our share link. Remember how we did this before? We copy the link, go back to the line that we have this on, insert a comment,
You're a sick
Oh.
mother.
who, me?
Mm-hmm.
And now we have specific to the local site that we just did. See that, guys? It's specific to the local site. What do you
Because
think?
you got the comment link from that site and put it in that box.
I got the comments is the keyword file. That's an actual keyword file
From that link, from that
from that
URL.
link.
Right.
Yeah, it's tied to this URL, but we want what are we doing here? Why are we doing this? Come on, guys.
Could you do that for each G site? Yes.
Yeah, you get sure. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Guilt by
Association.
association. We want Google to associate those keywords with that site. Absolutely right. Will it take you a little work to do the keywords? Yeah, it'll take a little work, but it'll last forever. You
Just
know,
out of curiosity, can you do another comment box?
yeah.
So putting in the same row, is that the key?
All right, watch what we're gonna do. Now let's stay with the same site, Grand Rapids, right?
Number 6, yep.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Number 6. I'm gonna copy that link. And I'm gonna go find, well, let's see, let's go right here. Follow me through with what we're gonna do, guys.
Yeah, Scott, how many variations of wine are there in the world? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Click preview. So this one only pulled up 2 pages for some reason. Probably not one, it's probably not one I built. I took from somebody else, or I hadn't finished, I don't know. So what do? We right click, copy the link address. Now, before we do this, we could actually make double our effort over here. And we can save us, we could save a step. Go take it back over to Bloogle. We don't limit the length. More options, because why? Because by default, it's in JavaScript. We want iframe. So we're going to submit it and get the code. And there we go. We can see it pulls it. So we're going to take our iframe, Control C, and we're going to go back to our sheet.
No, don't tell me you're gonna do that. The link's
Okay.
not right.
Well, no, it's always gonna remove the iframe src equals, because that's not a part of the link.
Okay.
Okay?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
That's what you're seeing there. But Google's still gonna read it.
So what you're saying is that this is still in that same comment. You don't need separate comments.
No, well, this is only for one. This comment's only for one
I know.
site. But
But-
guys, watch what we do. Now we can grab a link to this stack. Right? So what do we do with it?
I don't know.
Come on. What would you do with it?
Go down the column,
No, because you're going to do a lot of sites. You don't need more than 3.
add it to another document.
We could tie it to other documents, but if it was me,
If it would be.
I'm going to take it over to Google Keep. There's a lot of things we can do with them, guys.
Well, that's assuming everybody watched your Google Keep training.
Okay, so let's give it a title.
But Craig is right. You can put it in calendars. You can put
Sure,
it in YouTube
there's no-
description. You can
We
put
don't
it
have a
anywhere.
we don't have a wrong way to do this, guys. So
See you, David.
now I like to add the image myself. So let's see if we can find an appropriate image. All right. All right, what do we do next, guys?
Um,
How about copy to Google Docs?
that would have been my guess.
So now that we've done that,
Now what are you gonna do with it?
well, here's the question. We could just make this deeper and deeper and deeper if you choose over time. But how many tiers deep are we right now?
1, 2, 3,
1, 2, 3, 4,
4.
5. You're 5 deep if you're thinking from the master URL sheet.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay, because where is the master URL sheet?
Well, it's on the Google Doc.
It's embedded on a Google Google site.
Right. Google Sheet, actually, not well, it's still a Google
A
Doc,
sheet,
but
yes.
that's number tier 1, right?
Yeah. Oh, guys, I gotta pause for just 1 second.
So when you see and think about how you're just reinforcing to Google in different layers, validity, content, more validity, more relevance, everything kind of accentuates the positive of what you've done before. You know, you can see why these things are sticking. Or you should be anyway.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you're tiering with this method, we're tiering stuff 4, 5, and 6 deep on your embeds. Do you know how tough? And we're doing it today. We showed you how to localize it. So if your site is a local site of some type, you're going to be just so unbeatable if you apply this stuff. I know it's a lot of work, and we don't currently have a software that can do some of this for you. Now, I'm hoping that we'll get there, but Google's not being very friendly right now to us. So we have to fix what Google's already done. But my point is, if we go back to the master URL sheet, and we start doing that on our sites for localized, what do you think's the effect when you're 4, 5, 6 deep, and you could go deeper, deeper, and deeper yet? In the last couple of weeks, we showed you how to tie the docs together and link your docs. So all those docs for the authority are all linked 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 and so on. Right? Everybody remember how we did that? We used the share link in this, link it to say a Scholar doc, and the Scholar doc will take the share link and we'll use it in the comments to the Wikipedia doc and so on. And we could actually link all of our docs, authority docs together. Now, if we start localizing some of this stuff, the power is increased for your local keywords, right?
So you could literally on that particular document right there, copy the whole thing, go over to Keyword Translation Factory, add your localization to your zip codes in your cities, come back over here, put it in here, and then relink it so that now you've got your main document. Now you got your local cities, your neighborhoods, your zip codes, and you just build out one massive, complete, long list. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Hey, let me go ahead and stop and answer this. Martin, we actually do, as a rule, 4 authority docs plus the keyword file. And we use Google Scholar Google search, we don't use news anymore because news brings in irrelevant content that no matter how good we do at it, it's just not worth having taken all that time to remove irrelevant stuff that doesn't mean anything to you. So we use Google search, YouTube, Wikipedia, and Google Scholar for our authority docs. Now you need a link gopher to do it.
Everybody using those? Oh,
Yeah.
everybody using all 4 of those? And Link Gopher?
Now we can actually use
Everybody
link
give me an answer.
gopher.
Okay. Yes, yes.
We could
I guess
actually use.
Go ahead.
Somebody mentioned this to me, and I haven't really brought this out in training, but I want to show you that we can do it here too. If you keep everything organized, and maybe you just go into one category, you can use link gopher and grab.
Go into your
Google-
authority docs and do it.
Yeah, but I wanted to show in Google Keep that it can
Oh,
be
okay.
done.
All right, cool.
See, we can we could filter it and put. Come on, that can't be true. All right, let's do it. Let's do it different. So anyway, you can see that you can pull them out and get your links over here as well. So we can take advantage of this. Okay.
So pull up just what Mark is showing. Just pull up a Wikipedia page on dental implants.
Okay.
Okay, and for those of you who have never done this before, you just extract every link on the page because
Now,
it is a Wikipedia page, and every single
will-
link
let
on
me
that page
let me
has to be
cover
relevant.
this. Let me cover how you really want to do this. Wikipedia works just the opposite of Google search and YouTube. With search and YouTube, you want to expand the keyword so you get past the ads. With Wikipedia, we want to use a root keyword. So in this case, I'm actually going to go dental implants. I could use mono, but I'm going to use dental. Okay. So at that point, I'm just gonna grab all links. And I want you to see the amount that you get. Now, I
Some
did
of those
see
are rabbit holes
some of-
too, by the way.
some of these are scholar links, guys. I saw it when I went by it. So do you think there's any relevant information in here, guys? Do you understand why we call this authority docs? So since I've took the time to do this, I'm gonna use this. And for anybody that hadn't seen us do this, I don't know what Rocky we're under, but we're gonna do it from scratch.
Hey. Bernard lives in Colorado, so he has an excuse.
Oops. Now, highlight
Why-
your keyword,
Why are you just using Wiki instead of Wikipedia?
because I only want to be able to see it in the file and know what it is.
Okay, it's not just a personal identification.
That's all. That's all this
Okay.
is. And see, it automatically puts it in here at the top for
Mhm.
you if you do that.
Right.
So that's just a quick shortcut. So there we go. Let it copy. Come on. There we go. So what's our next step, guys? What do we have to do? Every time. Come on. This is participation week.
And do you add, say share?
No, we gotta hit share, you're right. And we gotta change it. So it's unrestricted. Anyone with a link. Copy our link. Done. Now. When we copy our link,
Nice.
we stick it in a doc. Doesn't matter where. And I'm gonna put above that. So I know what it is. You gotta stay really organized to keep everything straight. Okay? So now that we have that link, we could go back and use it in one of the other docs, keyword file, whatever you want. Let's see.
So
Now-
let's just, as an example, can't you go back to that same file that you're at? Okay,
Yeah.
from Wikipedia? So
Yes.
I literally have a question, so go back to there. This is
Okay.
legitimate, I'm not trying to make a point.
Yes.
So if we go back to that document,
Okay.
okay? And those are all the links, right?
Right.
So can you highlight all the documents right there and create the keyword associated with those links?
We can try. I haven't
Remember,
done
we
that.
have the reverse process where we create all the keywords and with the keywords are
Yes.
linked to it. Can you redo the reverse process on this?
That's a
So-
good thought process to do. Basically, we're doing backlink factory in reverse.
Right. Just take a couple of them. You have to do them all. But
Well, let's try it though. Let's go on. So we have some.
it's not.
Well, there's a way
Link.
we can do. We've
Can't you
already
hit
got-
link? Can't
We
you
can hit
oh,
link, but we're taking a link and
Yeah.
adding a different link.
yeah,
So your way to do it is you could comment,
comments.
You
Right,
could
they
do
can
it
put them in
with-
comments
put in the comments and do it that way.
and then stack link your comments. Okay.
You can also do it as a footnote,
Okay.
okay?
Headers and footer. Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
But I think my preferred method would be in the comments because I can
Mhm.
stack them.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
not sure you can stack a note, a footnote. Let's see what we can do with a footnote,
Try it.
guys.
You
let's
never
try
tried
it.
it. Thanks, Alexander. Appreciate it.
Down here is my footnote. So it's just going to allow that.
But even if it
tab.
doesn't, huh?
Hit tab to replace with Wiki Dental Implants.
Okay,
There, okay. How about that? It's kind of slick.
does that have all of them in there?
Yeah. It has, what it has is,
Oh.
is a link to
Oh,
a
excuse me.
document. That's a link to a
And the
document.
and the document has all the links to it.
Yeah.
Learned something new today. Holy crap.
So, but it's only affecting the ones that we highlighted.
It's all right.
So,
More than anybody else has highlighted at all.
so from here, guys, we have many things we can do. Many as you want, but pay attention here because you got to get in the habit of doing this every time. What can we do from here? Every time it would make sense for you to do it. We just created an authority doc. The authority doc we could tie into any of our sites that we choose, or we can localize it as well. So what would we do with it? If it were you, what would you do with this? Look at your right-hand side, guys. Let's do this the right way. Let's start here. Pay close attention. I'm not gonna say there. Let's copy a link to it. Now we have a link to what do we have a link to there, guys?
Someplace we want to rank for.
Right. So what are we gonna do with it? Two places. Okay, we now have a map to Grand Rapids. We can save it, copy the address, copy the link.
Put in the authority docs.
We could put in the authority docs, correct? 100% correct. Okay. So we definitely can do that. Oops, gonna insert. Well, what else can we do?
Local map, put the site map.
Well, we can use it there, but we're working on the page itself where we're at right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Create a comment out of it.
We just did that. How about sending all this to a calendar?
Calendar, image, metadata.
Now, come up to the three dots. Select calendars. Now, we want this to be relevant, right? So we got to be in a monodental implant calendar. So we have one checked. I'm good with that. So. See what we just did? But. There's things that we need to do over here.
Public.
We got it daily. You double check this, this, and this. I already changed it so you won't see it. But make sure you do it. If I were go to a different one. Let's undo that one. And go here. Oops. I may have had to post it twice in order to make it do what I need to do. There's there. So it's auto repeating weekly because I already set the other one that way.
Yeah, to that configuration, right?
Yes. So
And, like Scott was saying, calendars, image, metadata, YouTube, metadata, PDF, metadata, sliders. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on, right, guys?
So what's the next thing we can do over here, guys? Google Keep right there. We
Yeah,
can
went
send
through
it
this
back.
the other day, right?
Right, we went through this is a little repetitious, but if you get this down, nobody's ever gonna touch you. Okay? I want to repeat that. If you get this process down, it's my belief no one will ever be able to touch you in your rankings. Does that sound of any interest to anybody that makes it worthwhile to do this, guys?
Put it this way, they can never reverse engineer how you did what you did,
Nothing. Okay?
right?
Nothing.
Be scratching their head figuring, how in the bloody places did them old boys do that?
How do I add the maps link? Craig, do you need me to go back over that?
How did you add the maps link?
Okay. Okay. See where your map symbol is over here? Click it. Enter your map. Search
City.
your map up here for a location that you want. And it'll put it down, it'll do a drop down, you click the one you want. And once you have that, there's at the bottom when you're doing it, let's just click it. And you get these symbols, save it, so we can save it someplace. You can send it to your phone, guys. You could copy the link right here to your clipboard, then you paste it in Notepad and label it for what it is. Anybody have that? Now we could do some more stuff. We could get our direction.
Hey, Gary, stay there for a minute. Go back to where you just were. I want
Okay.
to try something.
All right,
Right now, you see that image there for Grand Rapids?
right.
Is that an image you can copy?
Save image as.
Okay, so once again, metadata factory, okay? Now you got these images that Google has given you And now you can do the same thing with the images and put them up on image carousels and every place else. So you can duplicate what you're doing here into the image metadata. Does that
No,
make
it
sense?
doesn't. Google Maps does not have to be done on your phone. That's just an option to send it to your phone. Okay?
Right. So, but my point to you guys is you've got these maps. You could literally, and I don't have the tool open right now, but you could copy the URL to that map. See if you can hit right click and copy.
I've already got it right here.
Okay. No, just
Now.
the map. I only want the map. I only want
That's what I got.
the image rather, excuse me, the image.
Oh, the image?
Save image as copy address, right? So copy the address, put it in the chat for everybody. Just drop it in the chat. Okay.
There you go.
I'm going to try something real quick. I'll come back in a minute. But I want everybody to realize that Google has just given you a very highly metadata image, probably right there. Wouldn't you just save the image for the metadata? David, yes. But I want to do a different test here. I'll be right back. But you're exactly right. Copy it, put it in there, and then, check the metadata in it with the exit file, right? So it's giving you this stuff right here that we already can use and is highly relevant. Should be anyway. I like the all videos and all images at the bottom. That's pretty retarded as well. Be right back.
Guys, while he's doing that, let me show you something special. Directions. We're going to use Spring Lake, Michigan. In fact, maybe we'll use the school as a starting point. Well, just for now, we use this. And now we've added directions into the equation. How about walking directions? We can get the details. We can copy all this. I think we can find a link to it as well. Right there. Copy link. We can send it through Gmail, X, or WhatsApp. Let's go back. Where would you use this, guys? Where would you use it? Talk to me. Yeah, that's one place.
Okay.
How about, hey, Patrick?
Mhm.
You missed out on this one. We're going to have to go back. See this right here?
Mhm.
That's directions.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it up there. Yeah.
I just pulled the direction one,
Mhm.
and it gives you the ability of walking, bicycling, bus, or car.
Yeah, the one of the new ones added motorcycles too, but
So we can actually get very different directions. And if you from Spring Lake, walking is 11 hours and 4 minutes.
that's my exercise for tonight.
If you click the details, you get a link to it.
Mm-hmm. So look in the chat, everybody. So the image that Google actually put in there, and this is something that's new to me that I've not seen before. But that image, using that link from inside of that image, inside of the extension that we're getting right there, if you can't read it, what it is saying is that the domain authority of that image is 99 and the page authority of that image is 55.
That's a wow factor.
Okay, that's retarded. That image and every image that we're generating in there is going to have the same Google domain authority. So, wowzer, right? I don't know if there's any metadata in there. I haven't checked for metadata, probably not. But if you take that image and you stuff it with metadata and you leave it as is, you have a 98. Oh, no meta? Okay, good. Well, that's fine. You still have a 99.55 link on your page that you can now backlink to your target. Does that make sense? Just like Gary showed us before. You think that's a powerful tidbit? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sneaky. Scott, you're getting so smart in your age. I'll tell you what, dude. So how do you backlink that image to your target?
Guys, it's real easy. Go to your G site. I don't care which G site. Let's go to,
Let's go down to the bottom and add the image.
well, I'm going to use this right here.
All right, that's cool.
I'm going to show how you link a image. So what we do is we click the image in the edit mode, click a link, and then we add a target URL, whatever the target's going to be.
Right.
In this case, Model Dental Academy.
Yeah.
Okay, and we apply it, and now our image is linked.
You see the highlighted link in the text down there? It showed up real quick. Wow. I mean, you can find these all day long, but I mean, that's just another way as you're going through your process, you're teaching your VAs and you do an SOP, right? Just go snag every single link that showed up on that page for every single city you want to rank for.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah.
keep building and building and building.
So here's my question before we start doing our wrap up here real quick. If you have the opportunity to dominate, why would you do anything less? Because that's our goal. We want to dominate any niche we choose or any client we want to dominate for them, right? Isn't that everybody's goal itself?
Yep.
Why would you
Well-
accept anything less than domination?
Now look at that, even, you can even use the image carousel right there, Gary. Put these images in there.
Oh,
that
yes.
shows
Oh,
boom, 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 boom,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Okay.
Right there's image carousel, right, guys? Pop that on every single page. Just use
But-
different images, but for the same towns.
But prepare your images and link the images in the carousel the same way we did right here. See, if I go over to, guys, if I go over to sliders before we leave, and all of you have seen me do this. Every single image, once it loads up, you notice there's a box over there. There's a box there because this image is linked. I've linked these images before I embedded them onto a site. See the box? The box is there because there's a link there. Okay? Every single one, we're gonna do links to. Now, we also, let's show you this. If I remember right, I also linked this image to this image to this image to this image to this to this to this, and I stacked them up. Right?
Yeah, be paid. Thanks, Martin. Right. Guys, don't forget what link do you have in the bottom of the text there, Gary, under the notes?
Under the notes, I have RSS feeds, docs, authority docs, anything that was relevant to this particular slider. Every single notes is full on every single one. So the more data I can stuff into this thing, the more relevance that we're going to have on all the sites that we have it. Now, this particular slider is on hundreds of G sites. It's not just a one or two. It's on a lot of them, all in the same niche. So as I edited this over the last, well, 3 or 4 weeks and started adding my comments, I beefed up and auto updated on those sites. Okay. So we've made, it's just like adding new content to those G sites right from my drive by just doing a few things on the embeds themselves. Does that make sense, folks? Okay, do we have any questions on anything that we've done today?
What I want to show one last thing. I want you to
Sure.
show everybody just real quickly. and
Okay,
Nobody will get mad at me. So we're talking about Spring Lake as our target GMB, right? For our dentist. Or your local plumber, your local anything. Yeah. I'll just do this. Somebody give me a city that you have a client in real quick. Whoever gives me the third one will pick. So obviously nobody's going to put it in first because they want to be the third. I'll randomly pick. How's that?
there you go. Kelowna, that sounds
That's Canada.
familiar. That sounds familiar.
Where the hell is Cerritos? No, we have to have a city, not a county. Not a state. Good God. All right. Let's go to Kelowna. Only because it's out of country, it's different. So I want you to go open a new search, and this following the techniques of everything that we're doing. I want somebody to tell me, if you can, what my next step is going to be. So open a new search. All right. And so type in Kelowna, Canada, because I happen to know it's in Canada. Okay. So we have everything that's associated with this city on this page per se, correct? Would everybody agree with me?
Yeah.
So scroll down a little bit. All right. So fairly simple. We can get really into the weeds with this, but here's what I want somebody to tell me. What am I going to do with this page to show Google that we are relevant to this city? Who can tell me exactly what I'm going to do right now? Zip codes to go. David has it, and so does Mandeep. Right? And David Kennedy is digging deeper, but let's first do this. do zip codes, do the link over here. Okay. This is powerful. So you take that and you put it on a page, you know, whatever, what I just copied the whole damn thing except for the domain names, but even those, put it on a Google Doc. Right? Okay. So go back to the site. This is when you can do some of these simple automation stuff, it's so cool. That's going back to your document. Just go back to your site.
Well,
Where,
I just want to do this first.
okay, I got you. I understand.
So
It's Kelowna. Okay. Now, okay. If you were going to do this, let's go down here to the next thing. What is the next step? So Patrick says, weather. Where's the weather? There's a little weather app there, right? So Patrick, we already have that weather app as a link, right? Right? So what would be the next thing to do? Where's David Kennedy? Where's it say things to do? I don't see where it says things to do. Right? But look at what it does say. Go back up to top. I mean, you guys are going to eventually get, you know, the point of this. How about shopping? Click on shopping. Do you think shopping is relevant to Kelowna, Canada? It should give us a bunch of links. Should. Waiting for Google to give us the links. All of the upper menu items, correct, right? You click on each one of them, and then you snag all of the relevant information. Something's going on with your Google, but it should.
Zoom.
well,
Zoom is.
All right, go back
stressing it a
to
little.
go back to the upper page. Go back. You copy and repeat the process that Gary had shared with you. Look at images. Click on images. Boom. All right. Now we're going to want to go and snag all of those images from Google. Where's these images at? They're on Google Images. Right? Now, with you have those images, you could go into Metadata Factory. If these don't have metadata, what can you do with them in Metadata Factory? Right, guys? Metadata the living shit out of them. This all making sense? I mean, Google gives us everything that we need. We just have to be smart enough to actually think about it, right? So go back to the menu above, videos. What do we got in videos? Anyway, we could go through the whole list, okay? And there's one other thing that I do for our customers. So all of those videos, right? Bada boom, bada bing. Make a playlist, create a video wheel. So go back. So now what I want you to do with Kelowna, Canada is hit space up in this search bar. Kelowna, Canada space in the search bar, events. And also, before you go backward. Look at the auto search. Go
Yeah,
backwards.
you want to take the events out of there?
Take the events out. Go to auto search.
Okay.
Just leave it there.
And
See
drop
all
down.
of those? I go down all of those, right? And ones that are relevant, I do the same thing. Is this making sense to everybody? Now hit events up at the top. Now this is where it gets kind of cool. Okay. Now you have all these events that are going on in Kelowna right now. And you literally have your VA type on every single one of them and create driving directions from those events back to your property. I sure as hell don't want to do it. But we might, just might be able to figure out a way to scrape all of the links on here and put all those links into a CSV file and use a tool to create driving directions from here back to your property.
Let's try something real quick.
Is this helpful, everybody?
There we go, guys. Looky here.
Ah, look at that. Hey, look at over there on the right-hand side. Kelowna Canada events, all news, video. Celebrate Canada Day. Wow, 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 wow.
See, now
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 you just
what
created an RSS feed out
now-
of all of them.
we take it over here. Come back. Oops, I left myself out of step here. Sorry about that. Copy the link address.
That's for the document that you posted all the links into, right?
Yes. I should have cleared it for. I didn't do it. So. We gotta do, don't limit the length. More options. iframe. Submit. Let it load up and you'll see the previews hit. And there
Yep.
you go. Now you have everything you need in a simpler format to an RSS feed instead of fighting through all them images and everything else.
So for you guys that do regular sites, right? Which I'm sure almost everybody does, Manadeep does, I know David does, most of you do, right? So if you do what we are sharing with you here, and you take that iframe, what can you guys that do regular websites do with that iframe? Somebody share what you can do with that iframe. Because I know David and Doug and Manadeep, you guys all, Patrick, you guys build websites, right? So David, where are you going to embed? Where are you going to paste? There you go. David's got it. Embed on the money site. Or if you have direction pages, David, right? Location pages as sub pages on your website that you're going to want to drive people to. Now you can take the same thing for that particular city that you want to go and expand your horizons, and take that embed code and put it on that location page. Does that make sense? Ever thought about doing that before with this? Anybody?
Hey guys, sooner or later, we're gonna run out of these rabbit holes,
Oh, no, you're not.
but not anytime soon. But not anytime soon.
See, and the fun part of it is some of the times we come up with this shit when we're doing, webinars.
On the fly.
On the fly, we see something and we're like, holy crap, look at that. We could do that. I got really pissed when Google took down travel pages because there was so much cool information on travel pages and now you can't get them. But you can see how we can kind of get back to the same place here by doing this. And then you take all, when you get into the events and you back like the events back to your driving directions. I mean, it's not like, I think David says it's not fair. Right? Or fair or far, sorry, not that far. So, all right. Well, we've kept you guys long enough, and we probably have 5 days worth of training in 2 hours here. So all good?
Yes.
Bernard, I'm sorry, I forgot to hit the record button, buddy.
Don't let him tease you, Bernard.
He's like, I can see it says record right up there.
Hey,
All right,
hey,
guys.
it's been fun and we appreciate it. So
As always, we appreciate it if you go search the ranking store on Google, type in the keyword, go to the site, leave a review, talk about the training, talk about this, talk about whatever you want. You know, we have to build up our reviews and we haven't been asking people to do that. So, you know, if you haven't done it, do it. If you've done it before, revise what you've done and, you know, just, talk a little bit about how awesome you think your training was and how you're going to use it in your SEO and so forth, because we haven't been practicing what we're preaching. So we have to get back to doing that. Guys, have a great weekend. I am trying to make sure my boat doesn't sink in the hurricane that we have right here. Our water table is up 3 feet right now.
Woo.
So I have no deck left
Oh my
for the
goodness.
boat. The water's up onto the patio and I got to make sure my dog doesn't float away.
There you go.
All right. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
By the way, wait a minute, before we leave, over on the smiley face in chat, you see the 3 buttons? If you click on those 3 buttons, you can save the chat if for any reason you want to save the chat. I just tend to save it for myself because it's good notes for me for questions and stuff like that. All right, guys, have a great day. See ya. Have a good
Yeah.
weekend.